So welcome to Rate My Gadget, and I'll show you how to diagnose the issues you might be having with the Samsung Ecobubble. So I'll show you how to change the filter, how to check the drain, check the water, and also how to get it into diagnostic mode so you can tell potentially what the issue is before you ring someone up. Okay, so let's see. So first things first, you want to turn your washing machine off. So make sure that you turn it off with the plug so it won't come on. And then down here, this is where you find the filter housing. And if you use a 10p coin, or if you're watching America, a nickel or a dime or something like that, what you can do is get that behind there. There you go. And that's there. Okay, so what you're seeing in here, the filter housing is in there. And they claim you should do that once every 6 weeks, take that out. And then what you've got is an emergency bypass. So if there's any water in here, you just take this out here, get a little container ready, and filter this out. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to see how filthy the filter is. So the first easy thing to do is check on the filter. So if you pinch the hose and pull that plastic, you can twist it. There you go, so that's off. Once you bring it down to low levels, see how the water is starting to flow out?
Yeah.
Now, depending on how much water you've got in the system, you might have a few goes of this in which you have to drain this out. So drain the whole washing machine out, because you want to do that before you pull the filter out, because if you pull the filter out, all that water will just come gushing out to the floor. You can put towels down here if you really want to, but ideally you just want to collect all this water, if you can, in a container like this. So as you can see, there's no more coming out of that. What you do, once you've done that, put the plastic lid back on and make sure you wrap it like that. Okay, so that's back on. Now then, with the filter, you can put a towel underneath, but hopefully all of the water. Now the first check is the filter gummed up? So if you undo this, okay, pull this out, this filter, you can see our one's quite clean, and actually this is because I cleaned it up earlier on. Okay, but what you've got in this filter housing is all in here. If you're pulling this out, you might find that it's full of hair and gunk and rubbish. That's your first check. If this is blocked, clean it out, wash it under a hot tap, make sure you give it a good clean, and then to put it back in, it only really goes in one direction. So what you'll find is, see these holes in this net, that goes on the left hand side, slides in like that. Make sure you turn it like that, and then that arrow will lock up, and then that's it. So make sure that's on, that's it. Now that may be the end of the diagnostic. You might find that it was the filter that was dirty. Clean it out, turn it back on, see. If that hasn't worked, let's look what else we can do. So the next thing to check is the actual water coming in. So what you need to do is, there's only one hose on the back of the washing machine, and I'll show you the back of the washing machine, even though my one's a bit awkward. I'll show you the back of the washing machine, so pass me that, thank you. So my one, this here, this tap is turned to on, okay? And then what you've got is you've got it coming in here as well, okay? Just feel around that, feel if that's wet, make sure there's no kinks in it, so that if this is folded over, you know, you're not going to get the pressure of the water. So the other way you can check, if you really, really want to, is turn the tap off, take that off there, and just check you've got water coming through it. Obviously have a bucket or something ready. I know I've got good water coming through, so I'm not going to do that. The other thing that you can check, and the only other real thing on the back here, is the drain pipe. So what you've got here is, this is the drain pipe coming up. Again, you want to check there's no kinks, and then off the end here, you know, this is pretty grim and mucky. What you can do is make sure, just put a kind of, you know, a knife or a bit of stick up there, try and clean it out, okay? And see again, you know, if those two are the issues. Now those are the things you can do from the outside. Now if I show you how to put it in diagnostic mode, if it's still not working, then this might help. And the other thing you can do is, obviously if those kind of simple things haven't worked, so in clearing out the filter, checking the water, checking the waste, if that hasn't worked, the other thing you can try and do is check that the actual device itself hasn't got any rocking on it. If it has and it's rocking, sometimes it means a sensor might be out of balance. So what you can do is, on the bottom, on the legs, just get the leg that's kind of wobbling that you can get access to. Obviously for me it's not the back, the front, and what you do is you just twist the leg so that it stops that rocking. You could even try temporarily putting some books or something underneath. The other thing as well is make sure that there's no load in the machine. So sometimes when there's a really heavy load, it does cause it to be out of balance. So it's worth taking those out. If all of that doesn't work, then you can put it into diagnostic mode. Let me show you what that looks like. So here it is, and hopefully you'll be able to see this. So what you need to do is hold down the spin and the option button, and then push power. Okay, all the lights will come on. It'll come up with this weird looking, and then the joggle, as you turn it around, it has different options. Okay, now a lot of these I don't know what they mean, but what I do know is if you wanted to go to test, okay, so that is the one that's basically going to put it through a test cycle. And as you can see, as you spin it around, there's different options, but you want to get over to, in this case what I've got it on is daily wash test. Okay, if I hit play on that, it takes it through the whole process, and what it's doing, and this is what the engineer will do, is he will push this test button and he will take the washing machine goes through all of the cycle that it should do to check. Now what may happen, and this is what you want to look out for, is you may get an error message on here, and once you've got that error message, start googling it in. I will put some of them there. Samsung have got them listed out. What Samsung don't do in some cases is they tell you it might be a water issue or a spinning issue or something like that. Won't go into detail, and unfortunately, like me, then you find that you have to go back to the manufacturers, or you have to go to a professional. There you go. So my one, because mine, I am having an issue with it and it doesn't spin, mine's coming up with 3E1. So write that code down, go and Google it, Samsung Ecobubble, put that code in, for example, and that will tell you, what potentially is wrong with it. And that gives you a bit of an indication of where you should be looking. So if it says, I don't know, 3E1, I'm not sure what that is, but I think it's to do with the spinning and the drum on mine and the machine. So, I can therefore know what it's about, know what potentially the issue is, and I can talk to the guy on the phone. If you want to take it back out and back into normal mode, just hit the power button, and just hit the power button back on, and it will bring it back into normal mode. The other thing I'll show you is if I again bring it into config mode, hold. Okay. This is also a very good test if you're looking to buy one of these, because it tests all of the lights do come on as well. So if I then spin, if I hit spin test, so now this is what it's going to do, is it's just going to spin the drum. It's not going to turn any water on, none of that. So if I just hit spin test, this is the problem we're having. What it will try and do is it will try and take the machine up to 1400 revs per minute. And what that may be good for is to check if your machine is out of balance. So if it spins up at 1400, and this is a good test if you're buying one, it's good. Again, look, I've got a 3ES, so it's the same code 3E. This time it's 3E5. Last time it was 3E1. So obviously this is something to do with the machine's ability to spin. So I got a problem, unfortunately. Hopefully that's helped. So yeah, please do try all these things in terms of the filter, the water, the waste. Also make sure it's not rocking. If you've got a heavy load, do take that out. But at least now with the config mode, you can kind of find out what the potential problem is, so you know how expensive it is. Okay, all right, thanks for watching. Please do like, please subscribe. Thanks, bye.